Hello and welcome to Prime Business. I am Pius Kujubaka. Economist Professor Patrick Isuming has stated that Ghana is not out of the woods yet, despite the gains made under the IMF program. He argues some fundamental issues have not been addressed in relation to the long-term structural progress of the Ghanaian economy. Professor Isuming made this comment in response to the IMF's warning that the Ghanaian economy remains exposed to serious threats.
Really not out of the woods. I think the fundamental problems that we have to address, we haven't really addressed them yet. Yes, we've seen substantial progress in terms of the inflation and the exchange rate, as well as the accumulation of reserves. But we know that how this progress have been achieved is not by fundamentally addressing the long-term structural problems with the Ghanaian economy. I think recently we've seen that the 24-hour economy, which is the flagship program of the government, has been passed. Those are the real sector structural measures that we need to improve the economy long term. Until we do those ones, we'll be able to buy some improvement in the macroeconomic indicators, but those are not going to be deep-rooted.
The Bank of Ghana has called for more responsible handling of the Ghanaian currency to help reduce the high costs associated with reprinting damaged notes. Speaking on the sidelines of the West African Institute for Financial Economic Management workshop here in Accra, Director of Currency Management at the Bank of Ghana, Dominic Owusu, emphasized the importance of strengthening the capacity of financial service providers to effectively detect counterfeit currency in circulation. More in this report.
West African Institute for Financial and Economic Management has held a regional workshop in Accra focused on currency management and forecasting across West Africa. In an interview with Joy Business, Director of Currency Management at the Bank of Ghana, Dominic Owusu, stressed the importance of maintaining the quality of banknotes in circulation and urged the public to handle the cedi with care.
Within our sub-region, we have issues with quality of money in circulation. Sometimes when we say that when we compare ourselves to the temperate areas, we realize that those areas have different environments when it comes to humidity in the air. In Ghana, and for that matter in Africa, we have more tropical environments. So the same currency, if you use it in both areas, you realize that here it deteriorates faster. With these challenges, what are the best practices that we can, in terms of handling the cash, in terms of how we use cash, usage of wallets, in the market areas? How can we handle the cash so that we improve the longevity of this cash? Because the more you replace the cash, it's cost to the economy. So these are the issues. We don't have major issues with counterfeiting, but within the sub-region too, there are challenges with counterfeiting. So we are here to educate participants on how best you can be able to authenticate the money, to be able to see when the money is genuine and when there are counterfeiting issues.
Also speaking at the workshop, a macroeconomic management at WAIFEM, Dr. Christiana Hoto emphasized the need for accurate cooperation to deal with modern financial crimes.
Generally, efforts towards protecting currencies from counterfeiters has increasingly become more dependent on cooperation or collaboration among law enforcement agencies, financial institutions, and central banks, the security printing industry, and high-grade suppliers community. Cooperation bridges geographic, jurisdictional, cultural, and organizational divisions, which were once impediments to providing comprehensive and coordinated solutions for combating modern financial crimes.
The 5-day training brought together representatives from the central banks of Gambia, Ghana, Liberia, Nigeria, and Sierra Leone.
And to some other stories, the Deputy Minister for Food and Agriculture, John Dumelo, has on behalf of the Sector Minister inaugurated the newly constituted board of the Tree Crop Development Authority to direct the affairs of the institution that remains central to Ghana's agriculture for economic transformation agenda. Here's more.
Inauguration, according to the Deputy Agriculture Minister John Dumelo, is a critical step towards realizing Ghana's ambition to become a global leader in the production and processing of high-value agricultural commodities. He called on the board to work in close collaboration with the management of the authority, the ministry, and all relevant stakeholders.
The inauguration of this board is therefore not a mere formality. It is a call to action, a call for bold, visionary leadership to guide the Tree Crops Development Authority in delivering its mandate. As Minister, I expect this board to bring strategic direction, oversight, and innovation to the work of the authority. And here, when I say as Minister, I'm talking about my boss. So, this means putting in place policies and mechanizations that would, one, enhance farmer access to improved planting materials and extensive services. Two, expand tree crop acreage in the climate-smart, environmentally sustainable manner. Three, support research and development to improve yields and value addition.
On behalf of the board, the chairman, Professor William Odru, expressed gratitude to the minister for the confidence reposed in them.
Research and innovation. Partner with universities, research institutions, and the private sector to accelerate the dissemination of high-yielding, disease-resistant planting materials. Foster climate-smart agronomic practices that enhance resilience to pests, pathogens, and changing weather patterns.
The chairman concluded with a firm assurance of TCDA's commitment to ensure transparency, accountability, and ethical conduct.
PLB Global Foods and Beverages Limited has officially launched its newest spirit brand, Honest Man Whiskey, into the Ghanaian market, promising quality, cultural resonance, and affordability. Here's more.
Speaking at the launch of the Honest Man Whiskey, Chief Executive of PLB Global Foods and Beverage Limited, Sani Punjabi, emphasized the product's competitive pricing, saying the whiskey has been crafted to offer consumers a premium experience at a less cost.
Honest Man is very smooth whiskey, spicy and warm, okay, and at the same time it's a very affordable price. The price is affordable, so anyone can grab, and we are providing a very good, rich taste and great taste, honestly speaking. Okay, at very affordable price.
Vice Chairman of Indian Foods and Beverages, Bhavesh Lanchandani, said the introduction of Honest Man Whiskey is part of a broader vision to build synergy and deeper connection within Ghana's dynamic beverage industry.
Ghana's culture is quite diversified. It's got many nationalities involved. So, we want to introduce something which was cross-culture. The Indian culture, the Ghana culture could synergize and bring something beautiful to the market. It's something we want to etch into the Ghanaian lifestyle, something that gives you, a lot of comfort.
On this spot, Chief Marketing Officer for Africa at Oki Trading, Amit Mahajan, highlighted that the whiskey has researched and developed to align with local taste and cultural preferences.
We checked with the Ghanaian palate. Ghanaian palate likes the spicy palate. So then we created a spicy note, and that's why, because Ghanaian people like chocolatey flavor, we added caramel to it. So it's a spicy caramelized whiskey. When we were looking for the Ghanaian market, we understand that there are whiskeys, quality whiskeys, but it is not coming in the affordable range. So our challenge was to create a whiskey which is premium, taste-wise very good, but it should be affordable.
The launch marks another milestone in Ghana's growing alcoholic beverage sector as global brands continue to tailor products to meet the unique expectation of local consumers.
The Akinten Apiamenka University of Skills Training and Entrepreneurial Development is hosting a financial literacy summit for students to understand money and the economy. The theme for the 2025 summit is financial fitness, building wealth, and securing your future. More in this report.
Securing future finances largely depends on access to quality education in taking the right decisions. Professor Mbawuni highlighted the importance of addressing corruption in Ghana, noting that greed is an underlying issue of poverty.
You need to secure a financial future because your life is in your own hands. You don't need to depend on people in the future, or to beg people in the future, or to leave whatever has for you in the future in the hands of other people. So you need to educate yourself. Africans have depended so much on the West. Even governments are dependent on the West. But there must come a time that we start even from individual basis onto communities, onto the state as a whole, where we take our own financial responsibility into our hands and work towards financial independence in the near future. See, the whole issue about corruption in this country is because of partially the greed and also the poverty. So if students are taught from the beginning that you don't need to be corrupt to make money, then they will know that there's a genuine way to make money. Some of us have made our money not by any corrupt means. It's hard work, it's investment, it's planning. And so that will help the nation a lot. Because people rise up from nowhere into positions, find money they have never seen in life, and then they are tempted to touch and get corrupt. But if we start now, we'll be able to build the future of Ghana.
Acting Deputy Director of Finance at Amstead, Mrs. Janet Champonotu, emphasized the importance of financial independence for women. He encouraged them to not rely solely on their partners, but to focus on saving and investing to secure their financial stability. She urged women to be decisive in their financial choices, highlighting that their boldness in financial management would enable them to support not only their families, but also their communities.
In an era that women are rising, they are rising to take control of their finances. But some of our women here think they should still rely on their partners. And so they leave everything for their partners. But with this summit, I think it will empower them to know that investing, saving is not just for the men. And women too can do that. So this will go a long way to also benefit the country, because if women are working, they know what to do. I think we will get to a better place. For women, I think if you are financially independent, we get autonomy.
Thanks so much for watching Prime Business. Prime Sports is next.